Welcome to Port Republic, and I chose to do Port Republic first because it's probably the easiest battle in the entire campaign. And I'm bringing in units of 2,500 just to grind up experience. And we're going to get a lot of experience, both melee and stamina. So this is on Legendary difficulty using the mod version 1.8. And yeah, notice I put a 2-star officer, in 3rd Division. And all of these units are going to go up really high in efficiency, stamina, like 25 points of stamina each. And that's what I want to do. I wanted to grind as much stamina as possible. And this little unit of 42s is going to go up amazingly high in like all feats. And notice that the two Enfields, Enfield 2 and 3, are only 1-star. They're going to come out with 2 stars. So, yeah, everybody's going to go up quite a lot. So it's a good habit to get into, to take all of your money out of your inventory so the game doesn't steal it at any point. I don't think it does on single day battles. Oh, what I did here is I have 6 units in 1st Division. I didn't want to lose it, so I have 6 units. I simply put in 6 buffer units or small units just to occupy the space so that I would keep 6 units in 1st Division. And I'm going to buy those sniper rifles from Reputation. Not right now because I don't need them, but very soon. "11 units. We have 2,800 men, and the enemy has 14,007. Is that what he ends up with? He ends up with 14,300. Almost 14,400. Okay, and for some reason, these units come in facing backwards. I don't know why, but they do. And I've watched that happen to other people too. You can turn them around, but what's the point? Not much happens in the very beginning. And I expected this to go pretty much by the numbers. It doesn't. This does not go by the numbers. So the enemy ends up doing some interesting things that makes this a lot of fun. And it turned out to be quite an interesting challenge to respond to the things the enemy did. It just was, I thought it'd be a paint by the numbers kind of exercise, but it turned out not to be the case. So one of the goals I have for this battle is to get as much melee experience as possible. Of course, I want to capture a bunch of the enemy, but I also want to take advantage of the amount of time that I have on the clock. And it turns out to be an enormous amount of time. This battle ends at 12:30. And I think I have my troops walk in circles for 6 hours, or 5.5 hours, some huge amount of time. But almost everyone goes up in stamina, about 25 points. But everyone goes up in morale, stamina, firearms. Everybody just goes up quite a bit. Efficiency. Yeah, this looks good. And I'm going to detach a skirmisher right away because I see his sniper or a skirmisher. And his artillery sees me and starts firing, so I want to get out of there. I'm thinking that I have plenty of time to get these guys over to the other side, but interesting note, the enemy, or these units are walking on top of each other, which that really slows them down, and I know it does. Yeah, that shot went well. So you'll get there faster if you don't walk on top of each other. And I know that. But the thing is, I thought I had so much time that it didn't matter. And I wanted 3 guys on this side, but I didn't think I'd launch my attack on the enemy left until, the thing on the hilltop was done. But I'm getting tired of his artillery, so I decide I'm just going to cross. I mean, I outnumber him pretty substantially, so I'm not going to fiddle with him. And I see an opportunity here to destroy one of his skirmisher units, and I think I lose my mind more than the AI does when I see enemy skirmisher units now. So yeah, I'm not going to miss this opportunity to kill one, and hopefully kill 2. Yeah, at this point, I'm just going all in. It's kind of interesting. I've done this thing before where I keep pushing my best soldiers into my best units, where I don't put raw recruits into my best units. I only disband my best units and pour them into each other. And that's why I didn't show the video. It took me a couple hours to do that, and it's really boring. First, you take all of your men out of your army, or all the raw recruits out of the raw recruit pool, and then you have to, like, one unit at a time, dissolve like your second best, pour it into your best, third best, pour it into second best. I mean, it takes forever. And this was made more complex this time because I had to get everybody out of first corps and into second corps. So, and you might be asking, well, why did you have to do that? Well, I had to do that because first division had 6 units in it, and if you take any of the units out, like, you can swap units, but you can't just take units out. It'll drop back down to 5, and you don't want to do that. So what I had to do is build crappy units, put them into first division, and then move everybody to second corps. And yeah, all that took time. It was really just not worth watching video of me doing all that for 2 hours. So finally got it all done. Units of 2,500 just to grind XP. And yeah, and it works out just great. So yeah, I'm real happy to see his unit that crossed the river. His skirmisher unit has now moved north. Perfect. Yeah, I'm now devoting 3 units to killing his 2 skirmisher units. I really have overreacted to his skirmishers, but really hate those guys. So anyway, my point was that the number, when you do this for the North, the number of losses you take in your army is almost meaningless. Yeah, I did not expect him to come in that soon, so I'm caught a little bit by surprise. My army is not where I want it to be. So we're just going to deal with it. Put these guys on run. The guy with the officer's name is actually 42s, not exactly the ideal unit. I do not have my army in the right place, but we're going to rearrange. We're going to have to run a little bit. And I decided to go ahead and push the attack on his artillery and go ahead and kill his artillery in the south. I have a unit that I moved around the flank. That's fine. So, and I do know there's an infantry unit going to come in right on top of my 42s. I'm hoping he doesn't get into melee, but I kind of think he's going to. And I still have the skirmishers trapped. They're going to die. And for a second, I think about diverting a unit to capture the supply wagon. That's a bad idea. right call is always, always, always target his artillery before chasing supply wagons. So we have a hit on his artillery. I would really like to kill his officers so his units don't get a chance to recover. So he has 2 infantry units here. We're going to have to break both, well, the unit charging. So yeah, I'm doing the move units forward, fire into the guy, rout him, and he should rout south. So this guy, he should break when I start hitting him in the flank, and I need to push the attack on his artillery. Yeah, this, everybody just needs to fire at somebody, and I want to get the Lorenz up and firing too. So, unfortunately, he fired right into my 42s in the flank. Actually, the 42s are going to have a great day. They're going to go up so high in melee, it's remarkable, and up in stamina. I mean, they're just going to really go up in stats like crazy. So, yeah, because we're in melee, I have them just charge. And yeah, we need to hit this guy front, flank, and rear, and keep pushing the attack on his artillery, and we've got to break him, and we're killing the skirmishers in the corner. So, yeah, I need this infantry unit to the right. I need him to rout as quickly as possible, and then it's all over. Get the Lorenz up, firing into these guys. Unfortunately, I detached the skirmishers, and that's one of the things that I've always done, is detach the skirmishers and then fight with them. And this time it's kind of hurting me. So, because I have the skirmishers and the infantry separated and they can't work together. But my 42s did break his 2-star infantry unit. It's now routing. And yeah, we're going to isolate him and capture him. That's the plan. And everybody else stays up here and fires into these guys in the pocket and kills them. Really need to kill the officer. He's dead. He took a volley. He's dead. Now need to rout the infantry. I think about pulling my 42s back, but then I decide not to. 3 infantry units are going to push him down, and the Enfields are going to turn right and fire into the pocket to the right. We've got to kill those guys that are still fighting in the corner, because they are inflicting losses. We've got to kill this artillery. I do not want him to get away. Yeah, this is great. My guys are doing fine. We're going to rout this guy who's in the open. That could not be going better. So he's still oversized, though. I don't want to get into melee just yet. We broke him. We need to hit him with several volleys, and then yeah, and we're about to kill the guys, his skirmishers. We've got to go after his artillery. Yeah, I'm almost tempted again to go after the supply wagon. Not yet. Kill the artillery first. Okay, his skirmishers are dead. Now if that infantry will just rout, this will be picture perfect. Yeah, his unit's flashing white. I'm going to have 2 skirmishers in the woods, distract his infantry while I go after his artillery. Yeah, put them on hold. Yeah, that's great. This guy in the corner, get my 3 infantry units up. We're going to harvest XP and then charge him when he gets under 2,000 because he's isolated. He only has 1 effective unit on the field right now. I mean, the guy in the corner is still putting up resistance, but he's on the right side. He's about to rout. And when that unit routs, he will have 1 effective unit putting up a fight on the whole battlefield. 1. Yeah, I need to just make sure everybody's firing at that infantry unit. We've got to break him. Once he breaks, this is a done deal. I'm just double checking the one's blocked and everyone's firing at the infantry. So this battle has been going on for 30 minutes, is that right? I mean, the actual, I don't know how long this portion of the fighting has been going on. But I notice it's only 6:30, just now it's 6:30. And at 6:30, that unit flashes white and the battle's over. So the battle ends at 12:30. Now, yeah, I remember thinking the battle's over. You know, at this point, now it's just everyone in the north is going to be killed or captured pretty quickly. And then it's make sure that we draw out the battle another 6 hours or close to that to just grind stamina the entire time. Yeah, we're hitting him in the flank every time he turns a new direction. That's why I like detaching these skirmishers. It's so easy to get the enemy, get around the enemy and hit them in the flank. His artillery is about to die. Once his artillery is dead, I can capture his supply wagon. And I really want to kill the commander. Yeah, notice everyone's just pouring fire into the enemy at this point. Yep, his artillery's dead. Okay. Big moment. I'm not really pushing for the flag. I would like to kill the officer. But more important, it's time to make sure I get captures. So I want to capture this guy. I'm having the detached skirmisher pull back. He will fire into the melee and encourage that unit to surrender. And he'll also encourage the unit not to rout south. So turning off fire, so these guys get into melee before they fire. Hi Bob found out that if you do that, when they fire, they'll fire just into the unit and you won't take collateral damage to your units, so that's good. But I do want the detached skirmisher to fire. He does little damage, but when the enemy takes fire from different directions, he's more likely to surrender, and he just surrendered. So I want to get into melee with this guy. He's 1700. When I first started this campaign, I was very, very nervous about getting into melee with units that were 1700. I wanted to get them under 1,000. And you'll notice now I'm attacking units that are just barely under 2,000 and capturing them. So that's the difference. You can capture units that are this large, especially if they're isolated. So 4 units on 1. This should be a lot of fun. And notice I have detached skirmishers. They're all on hold fire until they get into melee. Look at his numbers fall. And my detached skirmishers should be in a position to fire. 1,500, because he's in a corner and in the woods, he's going to resist, but that's okay. Right now, we're just grinding up melee, and that's a good thing. Come on, yep, and my detached skirmishers were about to put a volley into him, and he surrendered. So, turn on. We don't need to run. Now all we need to do is think about, yeah, um, grinding stamina. Normally I would just move down south and kill these last two infantry units, but now I have to think about grinding stamina. And I found the best way to do this. I push the guys south of the river line. And the first thing I do, and I think I show it, I mean, I cut out like a good hour, I guess, of me just walking my units in circles. But I easily drive these guys south of the river. And then I have detached skirmishers, there must be 6 of them, exchange shots with his 2 units. And while, I don't know, I'd probably get 2 to 1. I don't know. But it's not a good ratio. I mean, it used to be that 3 or 4 or 5 to 1 was considered a good ratio. Now you want 10 to 1 in a situation like this. So what I end up doing is drawing a defensive line north of the river and to the left in the woods. So initially I go south, because he retreats south. I go south and have a bunch of detached skirmishers exchanging shots with him. I'm not happy with the results. So what I do is I take up a good defensive line, and he keeps attacking to the north. And when he does, of course, he enters the water. My guys are in 100% cover. And now you're getting 30 to 1. And I have a couple units that just rack up a ton of kills. So I waste a lot of time and lose a couple of 100 men for no purpose, when I could have just racked up hundreds of kills, probably about 2,000 kills at the cost of almost nothing. And what you're going to see at the end of the battle is I have a couple units that take between 20 and 50 losses and kill 1,400 or 1,700 or, you know, something like that, 1,000. And that's just stay in the woods and fire into a guy who's in the water. So the unit that I'm moving north out of the combat, that was my 2-star general, and I wanted to get him I want to get him to the north edge of the board and just walk in circles and grind up stamina, and he does. And I'm going to have other units come down and be on the left side of the map and to the south. So yeah, I'm kind of just getting everybody in position right now. He's advancing on my 2-star unit. I can't believe he's doing that. I hit I tell that unit that fell back too far, too fast to fall back, and that opens up an opportunity for the enemy to take a shot on my 2-star unit. I can't believe that he's doing that. And I notice he's going to be in range very soon. I need to put my guy on run, have him turn and fire, because we're now in combat. Yep, he gets a shot off. So that was not good. Yeah, we got a little payback, so that's good. Okay, yeah. Just want that guy to go north and grind stamina. That's all we want to do. Yeah, and this is the right play. Get everybody, his 2 units to retreat south of the river, and then they're dead. But you don't have to chase them south of the river like I do. Yeah, kind of the north edge of this little clump of trees is all you do. And that leave him plenty of room to actually, if your units are undetected, that's even better. And make sure that your cone of fire, it does not hit the water. That way he goes into the water, then you go forward a little bit. When he advances north, you go forward a little bit, fire at him. I would let him get into the water and a little bit out the other side, like right kind of where he is right now. But he'll be advancing, and then have a bunch of detached skirmishers move forward and fire. He'll fire into the detached skirmishers, then have your infantry units walk up and fire into him while he's reloading. Rinse and repeat. And you can do that over and over. You'll get probably 30 to 1 doing that. Yeah, don't exchange shots with him in the woods. While he's in the woods. So it's 7:45. I'm going to get my ammo wagon up to resupply everybody. Okay, I skip forward to 10:30. This is when I'm doing it right. I have a bunch of units just grinding condition. And as you can see, I've created a space for him to advance north, and then when he enters the water, I fire at him. So this is the right way to do it. Initially, like I said, I went south and just exchanged. I was in the woods, he was in the woods, but I thought my detached skirmishers could, you know, break him and then just fire into his flashing white units. Nope. His 2-star units recovered. And then they're at full morale or condition or whatever they are. Now, they do run out of ammo, so that part was good. But, yeah, this is legendary. These guys are not going to just rout and then stay broken. They're going to recover and then come back out and fight like normal. So, this is better. I guess he's advancing toward the flag. And as you can see, these guys are just doing a job. Yeah, 1,400 kills, 40 deaths. That's what you want. Yeah, this is legendary. And it doesn't look like legendary, but it is. But this is the easiest battle. I think this is the easiest battle in the campaign. Okay, skip forward to 11:30, and what I do is some of the units that were walking around to the north, I have them walk to the south. I want him to advance north, actually into the water and then out of the water. I want to capture these two guys. So I timed this so that my guys are walking behind him. They have, some of the units have really good condition. I let them rest a little bit. It's 11:30. I decided at 11:30 to go ahead and begin the attack on these guys to capture them. I could have waited till 12, gotten another 30 minutes, but I'm just ready to, it's 11:30, I'm ready to go, just in case something goes wrong. An hour is more than, you know, like they escape or something. I don't know. They have no chance of escaping. But, yeah, now they're in position. I'm going to come up behind them, fire into them. They're going to rout, and then we're going to charge with everybody. And his first unit is actually down to 600. Like, that guy's easy pickings. I just need them to flash white, and yeah, they're also out of ammo. Yeah, I need to charge. That first guy's going to shatter. So, okay, we fire into the second one. I wanted to get them both flashing white. Okay. Hold fire for both of these guys. And what I do is I have 2 units charge each one. Like, not having them charge randomly, but make sure you have 2 or 3 units charging each one, designated for each one. And again, the detached skirmishers firing into the melee to encourage them to surrender. So they make contact, and this is over pretty quickly. Yep, and it's over. So captured 4,000 and lost 1,500. Here are the size of the armies. This is one of the few where you outnumber the enemy. He lost 13,000 out of 14,300, and I lost 1,500. But the big thing is how my units went up in stats. So lost 51, killed 1,700, lost 53, killed 1,400. This guy lost 200, killed 1,100. That guy took some losses. But when we get to the, we see the stats, it's pretty remarkable. So my 42s, it looks like I lost 180 and only killed 538. But wait until you see the stats on that unit. I mean, it's remarkable. My Lorenz got, what, 10 to 1? All these promotions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generals. Got 8 10-pound parrots, very nice. Got Harper's Ferries. Harper's Ferries at this point of the campaign, that's a surprise. I expected Enfields. Yeah, we got 4,700 in supply, that's good. But here's the story. Yeah, 6,200 men, we're all recruits. This general, look how high he is. His morale is good for a 1-star unit. But look at this. One more battle like that, and I'll have a 3-star general. And I put Johnson in the unit instead of my avatar because Johnson was much closer to his 3rd star. And I really want to have a 3-star general by Gaines's Mill. So thank you, Scott. So, yeah, one more battle. And we have 2 more battles to get that promotion. So, see, my avatar did not go up that much. So these guys all went up a fixed amount. That's why I brought 4 divisions. But look at this. Efficiency. Look at that efficiency. Morale. Stamina. Man, that's over 20 stamina. Over 20 stamina added. Not only is that a 2-star general, that was a 1-star unit went into this battle, and now he's halfway to his 3rd star. Morale, stamina, firearms. Yeah, these guys are looking absolutely great. So, stamina through the roof. Yeah, this was a high Bob innovation, and what a great innovation this is. Make sure you have the guys walk and grind stamina. So that guy's going to get his 2nd star in his next battle. That guy's going to get his 2nd star in his next battle. Morale, stamina, through the roof. And if I give them a melee perk, they'll go up 5 or 10 melee. 10 melee, I think. So and look at that. Look at that melee. Morale, this was a green unit. Morale, stamina, firearms, and melee. So with a melee perk, he'd be at 44 right now. He's in 1 battle, and he's at 44 melee. So I'd like to get all these units to like 50 or 60. Yeah, those are just great numbers. Okay, here's where we are. Career points. I think I'm going to continue politics. We need 1 more point in army organization. Do we for Gaines's Mill? I'm not sure if I do. I might be done. I just wanted to have units of 2,500. Okay, he gets a lot of troops, and he gets absolutely the best trained troops, so he goes up quite a bit. Army size goes up, I think, I wrote it down, 14,000. His army went up 14,000. So he also goes up a little bit in training and armory. Not a big deal, but I'm not too worried about it. But it does drive up scaling in the next battle by quite a bit because his army manpower pool went up. So I did notice that. Like I checked it before I went into this battle, and then coming out of it, his manpower pool went up, and he has a couple thousand more men because the manpower pool went up. So yeah, that's it for this battle. It's an easy battle, it's a fun battle, and and I'll get ready for the next one. So I'll see you in camp.